So the Clippers really, really hated Paul George. Genuinely, they hated Paul George. And if you guys don't know why I'm saying this, we can read this Norman Powell quote and have a very, very good idea of what is happening. But before we get on to things, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're doing Hoopsmiths. We're uploading 10 news videos every single day throughout the month of December. And we are also trying to hit 10,000 subscribers this month. If we can hit like 7,700 by the end of the day, that'll keep us well on track. We are 79 subscribers off, and we're uploading 8 more videos today. So if we could do that, that would be absolutely incredible. But Norman Powell has been incredible for the Clippers this year. And with Kawhi coming back, with Harden showing flashes of his former self, people are like, oh, this is prime Harden's back. No, it's not. He's averaging like 22 points. He's shooting horrendous, but he's showing flashes, and he's having occasional games where he looks like prime Harden, which is all you can expect from like a 36-year-old. But Norman Powell came out and said this. It says, no one has an ego on this year's Clippers team. I think that we have guys who are really team-oriented and team-focused on both sides of the ball. I mean, to grow, learn, and have the mentality of doing whatever it takes to win. Everybody's coachable and focused on the task at hand. There's no egos. I think the atmosphere has been a lot of fun. We're playing pure basketball. And if you guys don't know, Podcast P went on Podcast P and complained that, you know, when we got James Harden in and we got rid of Batum and Robert Covington, it's like they did the dirty work, and me and Kawhi then had to do the dirty work. Basically, he's saying that he shouldn't have had to do any of the dirty work. That was the other guy's job. It wasn't his job. And he got Norman Powell when the Clippers are currently in the playoffs, talking about that. PG was really hated. Addition by subtraction. Paul George, Norman Powell on PG's departure. Ivica Zubac, obviously these are not what they're averaging right now. I'm pretty sure he's not averaging 22, but Zubac has still been really good. Cook, the full-time podcaster. Call me crazy, but he's been playing PG's level so far. He's been playing way better than Paul George has been this so far. Paul George is averaging 16 points a game? Here we go. The Clippers have a great start, super confident, and come playoffs, everybody's injured. No one expects them to be good, by the way. No one expected them without Kawhi to make the playoffs. Norman Powell's hatred for Paul George might be on a level we've rarely seen before. Getting his hate off, but he's there's a player on your team who calls himself the system. In fairness, they're not wrong with that. Norman Powell really enjoyed playing on Paul George. Has anyone ever hated a man more than Norman Powell hates PG? Another PG getting cooked. I mean, look, if we're going to compare the two of them, Paul George, while being on the floor, is currently averaging 15.9 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. That is a not good showing, especially when he's shooting 40% from the field. And I understand he hasn't played that many games. He's only played 5 games this season, or he's played 10 games this season. It's still 10 games. Norman Powell, I'm not joking when I say this. If you look on Google for Norman Powell, there's a picture of Bones Highland. But he's still averaging 29 or 23.9 points per game on 50% shooting. He's shooting 10% better from the field and averaging 7 more points per game. And he's doing it on only 32 minutes a game. Whereas PG is playing, they're both playing about the same. They're both playing about the same amount of minutes. But Norman Powell has been much better than Paul George this season. 1, a best ability is availability. And 2, you've just got him playing better. He's shooting better. He's scoring better. And PG's just done nothing. He's been a non-factor. An absolute non-factor for the vast majority of the time with the Clippers, to be honest. He's been an absolute non-factor. Or say not for Clippers, the Sixers. But so it is mad though when it comes to the Clippers. They are genuinely looking, not that they're looking much better without PG, but I stand by this. If Kawhi Leonard was injured all last season, they looked better now than they would have with PG without Kawhi. Harden's been better. like Harden's obviously better as a number one, and Harden being able to play as a number one is pretty good. And then you've got as a number two, you've got Norman Powell, who is cooking, is absolutely cooking. So yeah, honestly, when it comes to the Clippers, it has been addition by subtraction. It really has. And like, this is a team that has been so much better without PG. While PG is literally out there on his podcast, he's on his podcast talking about, the Clippers feels like the B team, and I mean, they have this big wall, but they can't fill the seats and all this stuff. But it's like, you are currently a big reason of why the Sixers, literally, they spent all their money on you. They chose you. And all you have done is taken a max contract for 4 more seasons, prove that you care more about your podcast than play basketball, and it's not worked out well. You can see in posts, PG is better, or Norman Powell is better than Paul George. He has been for a few years. He just doesn't have a big role to prove it. I don't know how I feel about that one. But better player and significantly lower salary. As a 76ers fan, if you look at PG's career, he's only averaged 25 points per game once. He successfully built a media propaganda hype from looking like a slim version of LeBron and being an MVP candidate one time. That's not wrong. Like, he was an MVP candidate 5 years ago. That's realistically, he's been barely a factor. And it's mental. Like, Norm doesn't have the all-around game, like, skill-wise, not even close. Who cares about skill-wise? I'm not joking when I say this. Skill-wise, Kevin Durant, or maybe not Kevin Durant, skill-wise, there are players that are... Michael Beasley is better skill-wise than... Who? What elite big player? Giannis. Michael Beasley's more skilled than Giannis. Ben Simmons is more skilled than Giannis. And Giannis is still 100 times better. And skill means nothing. But the fact is, at this point in time, Norman Powell is in fact, that is a video for WNBA channel. Click on the wrong tab. Norman Powell is in fact better than Kawhi. And by the end of the season, could he be better? Maybe. But could Paul George be better again? Maybe. But like, I don't know. Him and Joel Embiid are on injury management. I could see them being sat to tank. So I don't know. I think the likes of Embiid, PG now, I think it's going to be really hard. I think the max contract is going to be non-guaranteed very soon. I genuinely think a max contract, they're going to have maximum of 2 years, of like 2 years guaranteed money on a max contract. And every team after 2 years, I reckon it's going to be a thing where after 2 years of a max contract, it's a team option every single year. Because the way things are going right now, the likes of PG, Embiid, Simmons having the 4-year max. Like, we talk about the worst contracts being like some of the Gilbert Arenas ones. Literally, every one of the worst contracts has come from the last 10 years. And that's just the truth. But anyway, I'll see you guys.